afternoon, sports fans. Welcome to another exciting episode of Nick's Picks. I am your host, Nick, the main event Barnes.
And I'm Zay the Thrill Barnes.
And we are here again with another sports show for you. Now listen, we got a lot going on. There's a huge amount of information that we need to get out there. So we're going to jump right off into it. And Isaiah's going to give us his NBA report. Zay, take it away.
All right, let's just start with the first three picks of the NBA draft. Were pretty much the biggest picks all night. Let's go with Anthony Edwards going number 1 overall.
Absolutely.
And then James Wiseman following right behind him, going straight to the Warriors. And then LaMelo Ball, the biggest surprising pick at number 3. Didn't see that one coming by Charlotte Pops. I really didn't.
No, I didn't see it coming. You want to talk about a gamble? That could be a risk or reward type deal right there. Definitely. I mean, Jordan is known to gamble a lot, so this might be one of those moves. And not to mention, he's got to deal with LeVar Ball in the same process.
Right. I'm saying, right.
So let's see how that's going to play itself out there in Charlotte. But hey, that could be a high risk thing or could be a great reward. So we'll see what happens there.
Definitely. And then we're going to go to the NBA free agency news. Big moves being made all around the NBA.
All over the league.
All over the league. How about Drew Holiday and Bojan Bojanovic going out to help Giannis Antetokounmpo in the Milwaukee Bucks?
Hey, listen, he needs all the help he can get just to get out the East. Miami, I think, is still retooling their basketball team, so he definitely, that could help him in the long run.
Definitely. Next one, we got Gordon Hayward going to the Charlotte Hornets.
Again, Jordan gambling again, you know. I mean, definitely. Gordon, he's not the Utah Gordon of old. We both know that. So we're going to see how that plays out also, and that could be huge, and that could probably, and you got to remember, they're in the East, so it helps out anyway.
Definitely agree. And how about Montrezl Harrell deciding to flip teams and go to the LA Lakers instead of the LA Clippers?
Well, we know he was very critical of that Clipper organization last year. Even with Kawhi, their star, he was saying that, hey, we don't take time off. Let's play basketball. So, I mean, that could help the Lakers because we know Montez is a real baller. So that could definitely help the Lakers in the long run.
And with Rajon Rondo agreeing to a 2-year, $15 million deal with the Hawks, the Lakers said, we're not going to be idle. And they went out and got Dennis Schroeder in a trade.
Ah, man, you want to talk about upgrade. That's
what? I agree, because his scoring prowess. Yes, that'll help the Lakers when AD is down and LeBron is down. And even though those games, because we know they're going to miss games, Schroeder's that guy that can put buckets. He's going to get buckets. So that could help the Lakers in the long run, I think. Sure on that one. And then Fred VanVleet, he agreed to re-up on an $85 million deal with the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, we seen that happen. Everybody kind of knew that was going to happen. So
Joe Harris agreeing to stay with Brooklyn for $75 million.
KD needs all the help he can get. I don't know if that Kyrie's thing going to work there right now because there's friction going on right now. With the whole James Harden situation, which we don't know where he's going to land at because I don't think he stays in Houston. To be honest,
I don't need a pop.
I seriously believe he's going to be moved somewhere, especially with the fallout between him and the owner and all the fact that we're not going to get into that because that's on a political standpoint. But yeah, I don't think that's going to last in Houston. And like I say, James wanted to go to Brooklyn. KD wanted him in Brooklyn.
Definitely.
Kyrie didn't want him in Brooklyn because I think that cuts down on his ball touches.
Exactly. So, Kyrie loves to handle the basketball.
Yeah, but that move would definitely help Brooklyn in the long run.
Definitely. And my last one, it was just what were you thinking moment in the NBA?
Yeah.
Dwight Howard going for the minimum in Philadelphia. Dwight Howard, what was up with that, man? LA offered you the exact same contract.
And then you tweet out that I'm gonna be here in LA. And then you delete it. And I don't know what this dude problem is later in his career. And here's the sad part about that though. Dwight at one time was a perennial all-star, all defensive player of the year. You know, all the accolades you look for in a big man. You think you had something you could build a franchise around. And as of late, his behavior has been so strange, it's unbelievable. So I don't know what's going on with him, man.
I don't even know either, Pops. You can tell me, please do.
Yeah.
That's going to be our news for the NBA. I'm going to turn it right back over to Pops.
One quick note I want to throw about the NBA we didn't touch on. Rondo going to Atlanta. What are you thinking, Rondo? You leaving a championship organization in the Lakers? Maybe, it shows that he's not chasing rings anymore.
Definitely.
Do you agree?
Definitely.
He's content. He has to, I'm good. And maybe he wants to help a young player like Trae Young out in Atlanta, which could be big for them. So let's see. I mean, I just wanted to touch on that before we shift gears. As we shift gears, we're going to throw off into the world of golf. A huge shout out to Dustin Johnson last week. Oh, man. I mean, he won by 20, breaking Tiger Woods' record.
Right? I didn't see that one coming,
He pretty much cruised on Sunday.
That's all he did.
He did. And then the thing about it, he didn't really even have to do anything on Sunday, but he still goes out and shoot, 4 under on Sunday?
I know, man.
Like, come on, man. Like, you know, and huge shout out Tiger Woods battled back.
Tiger Woods did. He
did.
did.
After that horrendous round on Saturday.
I've seen a quote that said, I don't think I'll ever be the same Tiger Woods again. I think I've seen that quote.
He wasn't. I mean, the first 2 rounds, he was pretty good, especially round 1. And round 2, he just stayed consistent, couple of bogeys, couple of birdies. But that 10 on 12 on Saturday was just horrendous for him. And way to bounce back. But I think the biggest thing about Tiger is his body's just not the same.
It's not. I agree with you 100%. It's just not. The injuries have taken their toll on him.
And I think that's what I think we'll see flashes ever so often, but a consistent, dominant guy. Definitely. I don't think we'll ever see that again, though. But yeah, Dustin Johnson played well, man, to go out and get his first green jacket. That's a huge move. Huge shout out to Dustin Johnson.
Huge shout out.
Yeah, man. So now as we continue to move forward, college basketball season is upon us. I know it's a lot going on. College football is still going. You saying college basketball is here already?
Yeah, I'm saying, right?
It's crazy right now. But hey, while we're talking about college basketball, here's something that we don't see very often. We have a number 1 team in both the women's and the men's.
Right.
Both of them are in the same university. That's Baylor. How about that, man?
I'm saying, right? Has that ever happened in the college basketball?
I don't know if it's ever happened. I think Connecticut at one time, with back in the early 90s and 2000s when they had those both really good teams. I think that happened then. But to open the season up, I think that's ever happened.
Yeah, I definitely.
And I mean, and make no mistake, the Lady Baylor team, as we know, have been dominant over the last 2 years. It started with Brittany Griner, and they continued to carry on. And last year they won a championship. That team is really good, and I think they're going to be good this year.
Definitely. With the head coach that they have, they're definitely going to be good. Right? As long as she's there, Baylor will be in the top number 1 rankings.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about women's college basketball, I know once upon a time you were a huge Connecticut Husky fan.
Still I would never stop. Shout out Gino Ariella. Definitely.
And here's a funny, interesting fact. Not even funny. You know they have not won a title since 2016?
I know. Just thinking about it is just so crazy. Because they were literally just on that huge win streak. It's crazy that they haven't won one since.
I mean, we're talking almost 4 years without a Connecticut Husky raising a banner. But I think that's good for women's college basketball because one thing about it, they were so dominant for so long. And kind of got to the point where you said, we
fatigue.
know who's going to win.
Fatigue. That's all it was. People were getting fatigued.
Yeah, we know who we're going to win. So it was good to see these different teams, Mississippi State, Baylor, South Carolina, win national championships. So, but I do believe this is going to light a fire under Gino, though.
That's one thing it's going to light a fire, and some players are going to get cussed out this year.
Yeah. Come on now, not winning in this long, and then you're not even favored this year. But that's
exactly right.
I think on the men's side, I think there's a couple of clear favorites. Gonzaga, Kentucky, Duke.
Always.
I think, but I'm going to tell you a dark horse. This is a team I think is a dark horse. And that team is Carolina. And the reason why I say that front court is going to be so dynamic. I mean, you got 3 of the top 5 players committed to go to Carolina. They're all incoming freshmen this year in the front court. They're going to be, and then not to mention Love, they're going to be really explosive this year.
Shout out Cole Anthony going to the Magic.
Yes, Cole Anthony did go to the Magic, Carolina Blue. Okay, we'll see how that works out. Because DJ Augustine, matter of fact, he signs elsewhere.
Signs to Milwaukee. Milwaukee is just getting richer and richer.
They're trying to, but like I say, they're in the East. I mean, can you beat LeBron and AD in the West, though?
We're going to have to see.
All right, we're getting off track. Let's move back on to where we're at. But yeah, college basketball is here. Huge game next week. Gonzaga, Kansas. Who you like?
I like Gonzaga in that one. Definitely
Really?
like Gonzaga. I like
Man,
Gonzaga.
Bill Self, I just think that he always has his teams ready to play early in the season. His preparation is really good. So I'm going Kansas on that one. So that's going to be a huge game Thanksgiving Day. So that's some of the games that'll be going out. Definitely. So as we continue to move on talking about the world of sports, we're going to go to our NFL power rankings. I'm going to give you my take. Zaya's going to give you his take. Today we're going to do the top 5 teams in the NFL. Of course, I'm going to start at number 1. You can't go wrong. You have to go with this team. I mean, they're undefeated. They're the last of the unbeatens, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to tell you one word about Pittsburgh. One name, shall I say. Ben Roethlisberger.
Wow, what a staple.
Yeah.
What a staple in the organization right now.
Here's a guy last year was hurt, came back this year, has looked absolutely outstanding. I mean, he's looking like young Roethlisberger.
He hasn't lost a step, and he's only gotten older. That's crazy.
Thank you.
He hasn't lost a step, and
he's
he's only
38.
gotten older.
Here's something while we're talking about age. What's the deal with these older quarterbacks still being as dominant as they are?
They were already in their prime, and they have a second prime now.
Yeah,
that's what it really seems like.
It's
Tom
really
Brady,
crazy.
him, even Aaron Rodgers getting older, but looking good.
But Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers. I mean, these guys all continue to play at a high level.
Yes, sir.
I remember once upon a time in the NFL, when you got later in your career quarterback, that pretty much ended your career.
Yeah,
but these guys are prolonging their careers for an extended period of time.
Definitely.
But yeah, so that's my number 1 pick. At number 2, I gotta go with the young gun and Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, playing really good football. They've only lost 1 game. They actually get a chance tomorrow to make up that game they lost when they play the Raiders tomorrow.
Yeah,
so that would be my number 2 pick. At number 3, I'm gonna go ahead and slide in the Baltimore Ravens. I know a lot of people are saying, why you keep staying on Baltimore? I just think that, they lost so many players on defense and they were hurting so bad on defense that they're going to get better. And when that defense gets better, it's going to make Lamar better. Yeah. So that's why I still keep Baltimore up in there. At number 4, I'm going with Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, man, that trio they got there in Green Bay is phenomenal. So I'm going to go Green Bay at number 4. And at number 5, it's kind of like, I want to go with the Saints, but with the Breeze injury, I gotta knock them out. And at number 5, I never thought I would ever say this in my life. Never thought I would say this, but I'm going Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Exactly. Thank you.
I know the Monday night loss a couple of weeks ago was, pretty dreadful, but man, they were playing really good following with Bruce Arians at the helm and Tom Brady at the trigger. Yeah. I think that is a great combination, so I got to go Tampa Bay at 5. So that's my top 5 power picks in the NFL. I'm going to turn it over to Zay, and he's going to give you his top 5.
Pretty much, mine are pretty much the same with some teams in different slots. Number 1, like he said, you gotta go with the Steelers. It's not even a question, nothing else to talk about at number 1. Number 2, we're gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs, of course. They're just looking like the same old Chiefs. Yeah. That's just all I can say. Same old Chiefs, just a different day. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all. Number 3, I'm gonna have the Green Bay Packers at number 3. I think Aaron Rodgers right now. Aaron Rodgers is on a mission right now, Pop. He really is on. He really is looking like, oh yeah, I need to go win me a Super Bowl. It's time to win the Super Bowl. It needs to be this year. So I'm going to go for definitely. Number 4, I'm going to have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, with that explosion that they had last week on offense last week.
Running game was looking good.
Running game was looking amazing.
Offensive line finally looked somewhat
decent. Decent. Thank you. And number 5, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm still going to hold out hope that Lamar Jackson and them can keep the ship right. That's just my team. Those are my top 5 power rankings in the NFL.
Right. Well, one thing that we didn't talk about, one team we didn't talk about, neither one of us put them in there. And before, I know if you remember a few weeks ago, we had them really high. Seattle Seahawks.
Definitely.
Definitely a little bit of a slide, losing 3 out of the last 4, but I think they kind of righted the ship.
Definitely.
And then while we're talking about Seattle, I want to touch base on one team that we really, because we're in the West, and that team is the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh my God! I really want to talk about. Oh my, DeAndre Hopkins,
D-Hop. Bill O'Brien looks like an absolute
idiot right now. Really, you gave this guy one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, like, you should really be praying.
I told you, he could be possibly putting Kyler Murray in the Hall of Fame. Because D-Hop still got 5 years, maybe at a high level playing the way he is, and Kyler Murray, as we know, just getting started. But one thing about Arizona that they're scary at the end. Do you not agree?
What, Bob? They are so scary. Oh my God.
They are really scary at the end. Like, you don't know. And every week, they have a chance to win at the end.
Exactly, Bob. They really do.
You think about the last 3 weeks, the Dolphins, Seattle, and then, the great catch D-Hop made. I mean, they're that team that make against the Bills that just ain't this up.
Shout out DeAndre Hopkins, man. Shout out D-Hop.
Yeah, you got to say, wow, every week this team has a chance to win. So,
and shout out Cliff Kingsbury. I will say that. We got to shout him out.
Because the offense looks really good.
It really does. It really does.
And another thing about them, their offensive line, they're way above average if you really look at it.
Exactly, Pop. I thought Kyler would be getting smashed all year long.
Yeah, because last year, he was pretty much running for his life.
Yeah.
But this year they look much, much better. And I think, Murray has a command of that offense, so that's a good look for them. Definitely. So as we continue to move on talking football, we got to talk about the college football season, which has been absolutely crazy thus far this year.
Definitely.
COVID continues to ravage college football. I mean, just reported this week that Manny Diaz, head coach of the University of Miami, he contracted it, so he's going to be out. Mm-hmm. And they really had to reschedule their entire schedule. The University of Miami did because of the COVID situation. And now that we're talking about 17 games got canceled this week. What do you think about this whole COVID situation, man?
Man, honestly, this is what I thought from the beginning. I thought they should have just not even had a season. Because I'm like, every week we're going to have some team or some players catching COVID, and it's only going to get worse. We're already going through a second wave, so it's like, why put the players through that? But I understand sports brings everybody together, and we need something. So, but hopefully that we get a vaccine soon, so that we can get back to actually having fans back into the stadium. That's really just what I want. It looks different when you're watching games and there's no fans around.
I agree. To be honest with you, I don't even know if we're going to be able to finish the season out.
Honestly, right? Honestly,
I just don't really think we're going to be able to finish the college football season out. Because what happens, whereas in the NFL, players are kind of constricted to their facilities and things like that. Exactly. These college kids, they can get out. They want to party. They want to hang out. Exactly. And I think that's what you're seeing happening here. And that's why you continue to see the outbreaks. But, we'll see how it works out. A couple of huge games this weekend, of course, in college football. Indiana going against Ohio State. Huge top 10 matchup. Justin Fields continues to want to cement his legacy as the Heisman front runner. Florida's going to Vanderbilt this week, so that's going to be another huge game. Could be a trap game for Florida, but I still think they'll come out on top. I wanted to get your pick on this one. How about Kentucky going to Alabama? What's the point spread on that?
I can only imagine probably 30. I don't know. I can't tell you, Bob.
I mean, it should be pretty high, but I think Alabama's clicking on all levels. And I know we talked about Mac Jones a little while ago. I thought about something. He's not even the best player on their offense.
I know, right? Not even the best player.
Yeah, he's not. Najee Harris is the plug that makes the offense go. He opens up everything from the passing game to the running game.
I agree.
I mean, Mac Jones, shout out, he's a good quarterback, but he just doesn't get the publicity. He won't get the publicity because, you got really good players around him, and that's what makes Alabama so good. So that's our college football take. There's a lot of big games this week. Of course, we got Wisconsin Northwestern this weekend. That's going to be a huge game. So, like I said, we'll get more into that as we get closer, as the college football playoff rankings comes out this week. We'll talk about that more next week. So as we continue to press forward, I got to do my What Were You Thinking moment of the week. And my What Were You Thinking moment of the week belongs to the Virginia Tech kicker. And the reason why I say that is you got control of the ball game. You never give your opponent something to feed off of.
Definitely. Never.
And you go out and you do all the gestures, the shooting, and the pelvic bump and all of that. Yeah. And what happens? Your team gets shut out in the last 8 minutes of the ball game. Miami
goes on. Shut out.
Yeah, Miami down 11 points. They come back to win by 1, all because of your one.
Showboating.
Yeah, showboating. I mean, come on, man.
Exactly.
Don't do anything. Players, stop hurting your teams. If you are winning, relish in the fact that you are winning and just hold on to the fact that you are winning. Don't give any ammunition to the opposing team to feed off of, to let them say, okay, you want to do that? We see you, and this is what we
going
to do.
Nick Saban was not his head coach. I'm going to say that right.
Oh, no, because
you would never even think to do something like that.
Hey, while we're talking about Nick, I remember 3 weeks ago, they were up. I forgot who they were playing. They went 41-0, and one of the players did one of those little hand gestures against it. Nick Saban went ballistic. That shows you the type of commitment he has, and that's why he's one of the best coaches to ever do it at the college level. So we're getting ready to dive off in the Knicks picks, and we're going to talk about the NFL, and we're going to give you our predictions this week on all the games. All right, sports fans, and here we are with the moment you've all been waiting for. This is Nick's Picks, and I'm going to do my picks first, then Zay's going to come in and give you his picks. We're going to start off with the first game being...
Steelers, Jags.
Steelers and Jaguars. Come on, we know who's going to win that. Steelers. Next game is...
Lions, Panthers.
Lions and the Panthers. Battle of the Cats. I'm going to go with the Lions in that game. The next game is...
Patriots, Texans.
Patriots and the Texans. The Texans need a win, Zay. I'm going with the Texans. Next game is...
Titans, Ravens.
Titans and the Ravens. Come on now, Baltimore got that game. That's going to be a good game, but I still like Baltimore. Next game is...
Eagles, Browns.
Eagles and the Browns. You want to talk about a team in desperate need of a win? The Eagles are in desperate need of a win, but they won't get it this week. I like Cleveland. Next game is...
Falcons, Saints.
Falcons and the Saints. Man, we're going to see what happens with that whole quarterback situation in New Orleans, but I like Atlanta to kind of come out with a victory in that game. Next game is...
Bengals, Washington.
Bengals and the Washington. Joe Burrow is going to get him another W in this early season. I like Cincinnati. Next game is...
Jets, Chargers.
Jets and the Chargers. Man, we already know the Jets are just trying to tank this season so they can get Trevor Lawrence, although he doesn't want to play there. I'm going with the Chargers in that game. Next game is...
Dolphins, Broncos.
Dolphins and the Broncos. Man, my Dolphins are hot. Gotta go with the Dolphins in that game. Next game is...
Cowboys, Vikings.
Cowboys and the Vikings. We all know the boys are not going to win a game, even though they had a bye last week. We're going with the Vikings in that game. Next game is...
Packers, Colts.
Packers and the Colts. Great game. Two great quarterbacks, but I'm going with Green Bay in that one. Next game is...
Chiefs, Raiders.
Chiefs, Raiders. I think the Chiefs are going to get revenge off that early season loss to the Raiders. I like the Chiefs in that game. Next game is...
Monday night, Rams, Bucks.
Rams and the Bucks. The Bucks are hot. They're looking good. I got to go with Tampa Bay in that one. And that's my take on this week's NFL picks. And we're going to turn it over to Zane. He's going to give you his take.
Steelers, Jags.
Not even worth mentioning. Let's go with the Steelers on that one.
Lions, Panthers.
Lions versus the Panthers. I'm going to go with the Lions on one. They're looking hot.
Patriots, Texans.
Patriots versus Texans. I'll go with the Texans. They need a big one bad.
Titans, Ravens.
Titans versus Ravens. A really, really good football game, but I think Lamar and the boys come out on top.
Eagles, Browns.
Eagles and the Browns. Browns are looking much better with Baker Mayfield not throwing the ball as much, so we're going to go with the Browns.
Falcons, Saints.
Falcons and the Saints. I think Jameis Winston comes alive in that game, so I like the Saints in that one.
Bengals, Washington.
Bengals in Washington. Going to go with the Bengals.
Jets, Chargers.
Jets versus Chargers. Jets don't even want to win a football game, so I'll go with the Chargers.
Dolphins, Broncos.
Let's go out with Tua. Dolphins on that one.
Cowboys, Vikings.
Cowboys versus the Vikings. Not even close, in my opinion.
Packers, Colts.
Packers are going to win that football game. Aaron Rodgers is looking like the truth again.
Chiefs, Raiders.
Ooh, a really, really good one, but I think Patrick Mahomes avenges that loss that he had in week 2.
Monday night, Rams, Bucks.
Ooh, a really, really, really good football game, but I got to go with Tom Brady. He's looking great.
Well, folks, that was Nick's picks, and man, this has been a really, really great show. Zay, love having you, man.
Love being here.
Look forward to next week. And so, with that being said, that has been Nick's picks. I am your host, Nick, the Main Event Barnes,
and I'm Zay the Thrill Barnes,
and we are out. Y'all have a good night, and God bless.